Good evening. Tonight, I want to talk about a truth that's simple but profound, one that can change the trajectory of your life if you truly understand it. Dream big, but work harder. Dreams, they're what fuel our souls. They light a fire inside us. They give us purpose. But dreams alone, they are not enough. Without relentless, unyielding work, those dreams remain just that, dreams. You see, dreams are the compass, but work is the engine that drives us to our destination. And it's that combination, the dream and the work, that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. You want to know where everything begins? It begins with a dream. But not just any dream. I'm talking about a dream so big it shakes you awake in the middle of the night. A dream so bold that when you say it out loud, people look at you like you've lost your mind. That's the kind of dream you need. One that scares you just enough to ignite something fierce inside. One that excites you so much it pushes you past that little voice telling you to play it safe, to stay in your lane, to settle for what's comfortable. Dreaming without limits means you tear down every fence you've built around your mind. You stop thinking small. You stop saying, I can't, or that's impossible for someone like me. You refuse to let fear or doubt cage you. See, when you dream without limits, your dream becomes a force of nature. It moves you forward when the world tries to hold you back. It makes you climb when the path is steep and rocky. It demands you grow, change, and become more than who you are today. Look back in history. Think about the great dreamers, those who didn't just wish, but dared to imagine a future that seemed impossible. Take Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't dreaming for a quiet life or personal gain. His dream was for an entire nation, a dream of equality and justice for people who had been beaten down by centuries of oppression. His dream was so big, so audacious, that it frightened many. But he never backed down. He never limited his vision to what was comfortable or convenient. Because if he had allowed himself to dream only what seemed safe, where would we be today? Would you be sitting here free to speak your mind, to chase your own dreams? Would our society look anything like it does? Dreaming without limits is more than just thinking big. It's about pushing beyond the boundaries imposed by society, by circumstance, by your own fears. It's about refusing to be boxed in by what others say is possible for you. It's about seeing the world not as it is, but as it could be. And that vision becomes the fuel that drives you through every hardship. Now, don't mistake this for blind optimism. Dreaming without limits requires courage. The kind of courage that says, I may fall, I may fail, but I will not stop. It's a commitment to keep going when the path is dark and uncertain. It's a willingness to face criticism, rejection, and disappointment because you know that the alternative, playing small, is no life at all. Think about a young woman growing up in a neighborhood where opportunities are scarce. She's told by everyone around her that her dreams of becoming a doctor, a leader, a creator are unrealistic, but she refuses to believe it. She dreams beyond the limits set by her environment and those who doubt her. She studies late into the night, works multiple jobs, sacrifices comfort and leisure because her dream is bigger than the obstacles. Her story isn't just about personal success. It's about breaking barriers and creating new possibilities for those who come after her. Dreaming without limits means you recognize the power you hold inside. It means that no matter where you start, no matter the odds stacked against you, your dream is valid and worthy of pursuit. It means you refuse to let the naysayers dictate the size of your aspirations. You stand tall in the face of doubt and say, my dream is bigger than your fears. This kind of dreaming demands that you look inward and confront the beliefs you've carried for years. Beliefs that might tell you you're not good enough, smart enough, or strong enough. It's a process of unlearning the limits others have placed on you and rewriting your own story. It's about waking up every day and choosing to believe in your dream, even when it feels like the whole world is telling you no. And here's something important. Dreaming without limits isn't selfish. It's not about chasing fame or fortune. It's about tapping into your unique purpose, your calling, and letting that light shine so brightly that it not only transforms your life, but also lights the way for others. When you dare to dream without limits, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. But dreaming is just the beginning. If you only dream, you stay where you are. So you must fuel that dream with relentless action, with hard work, with sacrifice. But the root of everything, the starting point, is that dream without limits. It's the spark that sets the entire journey in motion. So I ask you, what is your dream? What is that vision inside of you that wakes you up in the night and keeps you restless? What is that dream so bold it demands your courage, your grit, your sacrifice? Hold on to it. Protect it. Nurture it. Because if you can dream without limits, then you've already won half the battle. The rest, hard work, resilience, discipline, they will follow. But nothing moves without the dream. Don't be afraid to dream in color, to dream loud, to dream with every fiber of your being. Those who change the world don't start with small dreams. They start with impossible dreams. They start with dreams that shake the earth beneath their feet. And if you think your dream is too big, too crazy, too much, remember this: every great achievement began as a dream that someone refused to limit. Every story of triumph began with a vision that dared to break free from the chains of doubt. Dream without limits. Let your dream be the loudest voice in your head. Let it be the fire that won't go out. And watch how the world around you begins to shift, how doors open, how people take notice. Not because you asked for permission, but because you dared to believe that your dream was worth chasing. Dream big, not small. Dream without chains. Dream without fences. Because the only thing standing between you and that dream is the courage to believe it's possible. Dreaming is the spark. It's the seed that gets planted deep inside you. But a seed alone doesn't grow into a mighty oak unless it's watered, nurtured, and given time. That watering, that nurturing, my friends, is relentless work. It's the sweat dripping from your brow in the silence of early mornings and late nights. It's the countless hours when nobody's watching, when the applause is nowhere to be found. That's where dreams turn into reality. There's a saying often repeated that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. It's easy to nod to that and move on, but think about what it really means. The light bulb, the invention that changed the world, did not come to Thomas Edison in a flash. It was the result of thousands of experiments that failed before one succeeded. Can you imagine the resilience it took to keep going when everything seemed to be working against him? That's the power of relentless work. You see, work isn't glamorous. It's not the highlight reel you see on social media. It's the grind, the sacrifice, the pushing past exhaustion when your body and mind are screaming to quit. It's the nights you miss out on fun, the weekends spent honing your craft while others are relaxing. The power of work lies in showing up when no one else will. It's in putting in the effort when motivation is running low and the dream seems distant. Let me tell you something real. Talent alone will never carry you through the storms. You might be born with gifts, but gifts only shine when you put in the work. I've seen people with raw talent fade away because they didn't want to pay the price. And I've seen others with modest beginnings rise to greatness because they understood this truth. Work wins when talent doesn't show up. There's no shortcut, no magic pill, no secret formula. It's about being relentless. It's about waking up every day and saying, I will do the work. That's where champions are made. That's where legends are born. Look around you at the people who've changed the game. The athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the leaders. None of them got there by chance. They got there by grinding when no one was watching, by believing in their vision so deeply that every setback became a lesson, every failure a step forward. They turned their work ethic into a weapon, slicing through obstacles and doubts. Relentless work means you don't just work harder, you work smarter and longer. It means you're willing to put in the hours, even when it's painful. It means you learn when others are resting. You study when others are partying. You sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. Remember, the work you do now will shape your future. Every hour spent refining your skills, every moment pushing through fatigue, every ounce of effort builds momentum. And momentum is powerful. It turns dreams into plans and plans into reality. You've got to understand that work isn't just physical. It's mental and emotional. It's the discipline to resist distractions, to stay focused on your goal, to hold yourself accountable even when no one else is checking in. It's about resilience, the ability to keep going when things get tough and to find strength in the struggle. Take the story of someone like J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before a publisher finally believed in her story. She worked tirelessly on her writing, even when she was broke and struggling. Her relentless work ethic didn't just produce a book, it created a legacy that millions cherish. Or look at a man like Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years behind bars. His work wasn't just in those cells, it was in his unwavering commitment to justice, his mental strength, and his refusal to give up on a dream of freedom. That kind of relentless work changed a nation. Work is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. But that bridge isn't built overnight. It's hammered out in the trenches day by day. You have to want it more than comfort. You have to be willing to endure the struggle, to embrace the pain, because that's where growth lies. It's easy to look at success and think it was handed to someone. But the truth is, behind every success story is a mountain of hard work, a trail of sacrifices, and a heart that refused to quit. That's the power of relentless work. It's the force that turns dreams into legacies. And here's the beautiful thing: work breeds confidence. When you know you've done everything in your power, when you've poured your soul into your craft, you carry yourself differently. You walk with a quiet strength, an unshakable belief that no matter what happens, you gave it your all. So don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Don't shy away from the grind. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. The choice is yours. Relentless work is not just about achieving your own dreams. It's about becoming an example for others. It's about showing the next generation that greatness requires sacrifice, discipline, and grit. When you put in the work, you inspire others to do the same. The journey won't be easy. There will be days when the weight of it all threatens to break you. But if you hold on, if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you'll find yourself closer to your dream than you ever imagined. Hard work is a language everyone understands. It's a universal truth that no matter your background, your age, or your situation, you can change your story by choosing to work relentlessly. It's not just about the hours you put in, it's about the heart behind those hours. So rise up with that understanding. Let your work be a testament to your dream. Let your sweat be the proof of your commitment. Because when the world sees how hard you're willing to work, they will have no choice but to believe in your dream too. Talent, they say, is a gift. It's something you're born with, something that sets you apart. But let me be clear, talent will only carry you so far. Talent might open the door, but it won't keep you in the room. It won't build the house, lay the bricks, or finish the foundation. What takes you all the way, what sets champions apart from the rest, is consistency. Talent without consistency is like a flame that flickers and dies out before it can light up the night. But consistency, that's the steady, unrelenting heartbeat of greatness. It's showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the obstacles in your path. It's the decision to keep going, to keep working, to keep believing even when the applause has stopped and the world isn't watching. Look at Serena Williams. Her talent on the tennis court is undeniable, one of the greatest athletes to ever play the game. But talent alone, no. What made her a champion was not just the ability to hit the ball hard or run fast. It was her commitment to showing up every single day, rain or shine, tired or energized, winning or losing. It was the countless hours she spent practicing her serve, refining her footwork, and pushing past pain and setbacks. That commitment, that consistency, is what turned talent into greatness. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you won't stumble or fall. It means you get back up. It means you keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when the journey is long and the progress feels slow. It means refusing to be defined by one failure or one bad day. It means building habits that become the backbone of your success. Consistency is what turns dreams into reality, because dreams need time to grow. Imagine planting a seed and expecting a tree overnight. It doesn't work that way. The seed needs water, sunlight, and care every day. It needs your consistency to flourish. Without that, the dream withers no matter how bright it seemed at first. You might have a flash of genius or an incredible idea, but if you don't nurture it with consistent effort, it's like writing a single sentence of a book and never finishing it. Consistency means you write every day, you refine your skills, You learn from your mistakes, and you keep pushing forward. Think about the great writers, the successful entrepreneurs, the athletes who have reached the pinnacle of their fields. Their stories are rarely about a single moment of brilliance. Instead, they're stories of perseverance, of showing up even when it was hard, of pushing through doubt and fatigue, of doing the work day after day until excellence became a habit. And let me tell you something, consistency builds trust. When you are consistent, people know they can rely on you. Your word becomes your bond. Your effort becomes your signature. It's the foundation on which reputations are built. If you want to be seen as reliable, as someone who delivers, then consistency must be your ally. But consistency is not just about external success. It's about building your character. It's about becoming someone who refuses to quit. Someone who honors their commitments to themselves and others. When you develop consistency, you develop discipline, and with discipline comes freedom. The freedom to create the life you want, the freedom to be proud of who you are. I want you to reflect on your own life. Where have you been inconsistent? What dreams have you started and then abandoned? What goals have you set only to let distractions pull you away? It's easy to get discouraged because consistency requires patience and persistence. It asks you to sacrifice the quick wins for long-term gain. But if you want to stand tall tomorrow, you have to plant the seeds today and keep watering them. Consistency means embracing the mundane, the repetitive, the same old, same old. It means being willing to do the work when it's not exciting, when no one is cheering, when the results aren't immediate. Because that's where champions are made, in the unseen hours, in the quiet dedication, in the refusal to quit. When life gets tough, and it will, consistency becomes your anchor. When distractions come knocking, consistency is the shield that protects your dreams. It keeps you focused when everything else screams for your attention. It's what separates those who talk about their dreams from those who actually live them. So don't wait for motivation to strike. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Those don't come every day. What comes every day is your choice to show up, to do the work, to be consistent. It's in those choices that greatness is born. And remember, consistency isn't about being perfect every time. It's about being better than you were yesterday, even if just a little bit. It's about the small victories, the extra hour of practice, the quiet morning spent reading, the decision to keep going when you want to give up. The road to success is long and winding, and talent might get you glimpses of the summit, but consistency is what will carry you to the top. It's the fuel in the engine, the steady drumbeat that keeps you moving forward. Without it, talent is wasted potential. So, I challenge you, find your purpose, your passion, your reason to get up every morning, and then commit. Commit to consistency. Commit to showing up. Commit to doing the work when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one is watching, because that's how dreams become realities. That's how good becomes great. That's how ordinary becomes extraordinary. The world will test you. Life will throw curveballs. You will face setbacks and doubts. But if you keep showing up, if you keep pushing forward, if you stay consistent, nothing can stop you. Consistency beats talent. Always. That's the truth. Working hard means you're going to fail. It's as certain as the sunrise. Failure is not some enemy lurking in the shadows waiting to knock you down. No. Failure is your greatest teacher. It's the tough coach that pushes you beyond what you thought possible. It's the whisper that reminds you to get up when you're on the ground. The world tells you failure is to be feared, to be avoided at all costs, but let me tell you, the truth is far from that. Failure is where growth happens. Failure is the doorway to success. Look at the story of a woman who faced rejection so deep, so harsh, it could have broken anyone's spirit. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job. She was told she wasn't fit for television. Can you imagine hearing that? After putting in all the effort, after daring to dream, to step into the spotlight, she was told she didn't have what it takes. Most people would have walked away, but not her. She embraced that failure. She used it as a stepping stone. She looked at it square in the face and said, "You're not going to define me." Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a vital part of success. Every person who has achieved greatness has a trail of failures behind them. Every champion has a story of stumbling, falling, and getting back up. Failure is the blueprint. It shows you what doesn't work. It forces you to rethink, to recalibrate, to grow. Without failure, you never learn. Without failure, you never evolve. You see, failure teaches humility. It reminds you that you're human. It tears down your pride so you can rebuild stronger. It humbles you enough to accept help, to seek wisdom, to improve. It forces you to face reality and take responsibility. And that's where true growth begins. It's easy to talk about success. It's glamorous, it's celebrated, it's shown on stages and screens. But failure happens in the quiet, in the dark moments when nobody is watching. It's the silent battles fought inside your mind, the doubts that creep in, the pain of falling short. Yet those moments build character. They forge resilience. They prepare you for the heights you want to reach. Think about Thomas Edison. When he was inventing the light bulb, he failed thousands of times. Imagine that, thousands of failures. But he didn't see them as failures. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset, that refusal to be defeated by failure, is what separates the successful from the defeated. You will fail. It's part of the process. But how you respond to failure, that's what defines you. Will you let it break you, or will you let it build you? Will you let it silence your dreams, or will you use it as a stepping stone to climb higher? Will you turn your setbacks into comebacks? There's a story about Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest basketball player ever. He was cut from his high school team. Imagine that rejection. But did he quit? No. He practiced harder, pushed further, and eventually became a 6-time NBA champion. His failure was a teacher guiding him to greatness. Failure also teaches patience. It shows you that success doesn't come overnight. It's the slow grind, the repeated attempts, the willingness to start again. When you embrace failure, you accept that the journey will be tough, that progress will be slow, but that persistence will pay off. Failure strips away the illusion of quick fixes. It forces you to confront reality, to dig deep, and to find strength you didn't know you had. It teaches you the value of persistence and the power of belief. It molds you into someone who refuses to quit, no matter how many times the world says no. Every failure carries a lesson. Maybe you missed a detail. Maybe your timing was off. Maybe your strategy was flawed. Whatever the case, failure shines a light on what needs to change. It's a hard but honest teacher. And if you're willing to listen, it will guide you to the right path. But there's a catch. Embracing failure means you have to be brave. You have to be willing to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, knowing that you might fall. You have to be willing to face criticism, rejection, and doubt. And above all, you have to believe in yourself even when the world doubts you. Remember, the greatest achievements in history were born out of failure. The Wright brothers failed many times before they flew. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. But these were not the end of their stories. They were the beginning of their comebacks. So don't fear failure. Don't avoid it. Embrace it. Let it teach you. Let it push you. Let it prepare you. Because failure is not a dead end. It's a detour on the road to your dreams. Failure breaks you down so it can build you up stronger, wiser, and more determined. It's the fire that tempers steel. It's the weight that builds muscle. It's the storm that clears the path for the sun. If you want to dream big, you must be willing to face failure. If you want to build something great, you must be willing to fall, get up, and try again. If you want to live a life that matters, you must be willing to learn from your failures and keep moving forward. So when you fail, don't hide. Don't give up. Look failure in the eye and say, "Thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for strengthening me. Thank you for pushing me beyond what I thought possible." Because in the end, failure is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. And if you learn from it, if you grow from it, if you let it shape you, nothing in this world can stop you. Nothing worth having in this life comes without sacrifice. It's a hard truth, but it's the truth that separates those who dream from those who achieve. You see, you can want something badly, you can pray for it, hope for it, envision it, but until you're willing to give up something for it, that dream will remain just that, a dream. Sacrifice is the price of greatness. It's the toll you pay to move from where you are to where you want to be. You might miss out on parties with friends. You might lose precious hours of sleep. You might have to say no to moments of comfort and ease. Those are the hard choices. Those are the moments that test your commitment. And if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, then you're not serious about your dream. Take Michael Jordan, for example. The man is a legend, one of the greatest basketball players the world has ever seen. But he didn't start out that way. In fact, he didn't make his high school basketball team at first. Imagine that disappointment. For most, that could have been the end of the story. But for Michael, it was just the beginning. He sacrificed comfort and ease. He stayed late, practiced harder, ran faster, pushed himself beyond what others thought possible. He gave up the easy life for the chance to live his dream. And that sacrifice made him great. Sacrifice is not about losing, it's about gaining. It's about understanding that every choice you make shapes your future. When you choose to stay up late studying while others are out partying, you're investing in your tomorrow. When you choose to say no to distractions, you're saying yes to your purpose. When you give up short-term pleasure, you're paving the way for long-term success. But let me be honest with you, sacrifice is lonely. It's uncomfortable. It asks you to go against the grain, to swim upstream when everyone else is floating down the river. It means watching others enjoy what you've decided to forego. It means waking up early when you want to sleep in. It means grinding when others are resting. It means being disciplined when everyone else is giving in. That's why sacrifice is not for everyone. It's for those who see beyond the moment, who understand that the discomfort they feel now is a small price to pay for the life they want. It's for those who understand that the road to greatness is paved with hard choices and tough decisions. Sacrifice also teaches you what you're truly made of. When you're willing to give up what you want now for what you want most, you prove to yourself that your dream is real. You prove that your commitment is unshakable. You prove that you have the strength to endure, the courage to persevere, and the heart to overcome. Sometimes, sacrifice means saying goodbye to toxic relationships that hold you back. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, who challenge you, who push you to be better. It means protecting your time and energy because you know that those are precious resources that fuel your journey. Remember, the path to success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And in a marathon, every step counts. Sacrifice is what keeps you moving forward when your legs are tired and your spirit is weary. It's the fuel in your tank when the finish line feels miles away. Sacrifice is also about faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your vision, faith in the process. It's believing that the hard work and the sacrifices you make today will pay off tomorrow. It's trusting that the seeds you plant now, though they may seem buried deep in the dirt, will one day bloom into something beautiful and lasting. Look at every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every champion athlete, every artist who changed the world. They all have one thing in common: sacrifice. They gave up comfort for commitment. They chose discipline over distraction. They understood that greatness demands more than talent, it demands sacrifice. And yes, sacrifice can hurt, it can sting. You might feel lonely, tired, frustrated. But that pain is temporary. The reward is eternal. When you look back years from now, you won't remember the parties you missed or the hours of sleep you gave up. You'll remember the moment you achieved your dream. You'll remember the pride, the joy, the fulfillment that comes from knowing you gave it your all. So when you find yourself faced with a choice, comfort or commitment, remember that sacrifice is part of the journey. It's the bridge between dreaming and doing. It's the price tag on the life you want, and if you're willing to pay that price, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Greatness requires sacrifice, but greatness also gives back. It rewards you with purpose, passion, and peace. It allows you to look in the mirror and know you gave everything you had. It allows you to inspire others to do the same. You're going to have to sacrifice something. The question is, what are you willing to give up for your dream? Are you willing to miss the easy nights for the chance to build something extraordinary? Are you willing to push past the pain and the discomfort? Are you willing to say no today so you can say yes to your future? If the answer is yes, then know this: you are on the path to greatness. You have the strength to endure. You have the heart to fight. You have the vision to see beyond the moment. Sacrifice is not the enemy, it is your greatest ally. So embrace it, own it, let it drive you forward. Because sacrifice is part of the journey, and the journey is worth every step. You cannot rise above the company you keep. This truth is as old as time itself, and it holds more power than most people realize. Your environment, the people you surround yourself with, either lifts you up or pulls you down. It's that simple. Success doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in the company of those who inspire, challenge, and push you to be more than you thought possible. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. Those 5 people shape your mindset, your habits, your attitudes, your energy, your belief system. If they are driven, motivated, and hungry for greatness, chances are you will absorb that same energy and rise alongside them. But if they are complacent, negative, or distracted, you risk being dragged down into their world. Surrounding yourself with the right people is not just about friendship or convenience, it's about intentionality. It's about being deliberate with who you allow into your inner circle. The people around you should be mirrors reflecting your potential back at you, not anchors weighing you down. They should be voices that push you forward, not whispers that hold you back. I want you to think about the people you spend the most time with. Are they the ones who challenge you to grow? Are they the ones who hold you accountable when you want to quit? Are they the ones who celebrate your victories and help you learn from your failures? Because if not, it's time for a serious reevaluation. Greatness is a team sport. No one achieves it alone. Every success story, every triumph, every breakthrough is supported by a network of people who believed, encouraged, and challenged. You need mentors who have walked the path before you and can guide you through the tough spots. You need peers who share your ambition and hunger and will push you to run faster, go further, and reach higher. And you need friends who genuinely want to see you win, not out of competition, but out of love and respect. Surround yourself with those who are better than you, not to feel inferior, but to learn and grow. Being around people who inspire excellence forces you to elevate your own game. It's like iron sharpening iron. When you settle for less, you stunt your own growth. But when you surround yourself with greatness, greatness becomes your standard. I want you to remember, the people closest to you influence your mindset more than any book, seminar, or motivational speech ever will. They shape how you see yourself in the world. If you're constantly around negativity, doubt, and fear, it becomes harder to believe in your own potential. But if you're surrounded by hope, faith, and relentless determination, your spirit ignites. You start to see what's possible. Jim Rohn said it best. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Let that sink in. If you want to be successful, if you want to live a life of purpose and impact, you have to surround yourself with people who reflect those values. Not just in words, but in action. It's not always easy to make these changes. Sometimes it means distancing yourself from family or old friends who don't share your vision. Sometimes it means stepping out of your comfort zone to meet new people who can challenge your thinking. Sometimes it means facing loneliness in the short term for the sake of long-term growth. But trust me when I say this, your environment will either be your launch pad or your anchor. Choose wisely. Look at any successful person, and you'll find a tribe behind them. They didn't make it on their own. They had coaches, advisors, friends, and partners who believed in them when no one else did. They had people who told them the truth, even when it was hard to hear. They had people who pushed them when they wanted to quit. And that's what you need. A circle that believes in you more than you believe in yourself sometimes. A circle that lifts you when you're down. A circle that holds you accountable. A circle that challenges your excuses and demands your best. But surrounding yourself with the right people is a two-way street. It's not just about what they bring to you, it's about what you bring to them. Are you the kind of person who uplifts, encourages, and challenges others? Are you contributing to the growth of those around you? Because greatness is contagious, but so is negativity. Your energy affects others just as much as theirs affect you. If you want to be surrounded by greatness, start by being great yourself. Be the person who inspires, who pushes others to be their best. Be the person who listens, who supports, who holds others accountable. Remember, you don't have to do this alone, But you also don't have to settle for anyone who doesn't align with your vision. Be intentional, be selective. Your future depends on it. Your dreams deserve the right company. Your potential deserves the right environment. Your journey to greatness demands it. So take a hard look around. Who's in your circle? Are they helping you become the person you need to be? If not, it's time to make some changes. And it starts with you, your choices, your courage, your commitment. Because success is not just about what you do, it's about who you do it with. Surround yourself with those who challenge you. Surround yourself with those who uplift you. Surround yourself with those who share your hunger for greatness. Because when you do, there's nothing you can't achieve. Dreams without goals, they're just whispers in the wind. Beautiful, yes, but lacking the weight to move mountains. You see, it's easy to say, I want to be successful, or I want to change the world. But if you don't break that dream down into clear, measurable steps, you're just wishing, hoping, and hoping ain't a strategy. I want you to think about this: dreams become reality when they're paired with purpose and precision. That's why setting clear, measurable goals isn't optional. It's mandatory. Because without a map, how do you know where you're going? How do you know if you're on the right path or lost in the wilderness of life? Look at people who've changed the game. Elon Musk dreamed of making humanity multi-planetary. But that dream didn't stay a fantasy. He broke it down into milestones, one after the other, developing rockets, creating reusable boosters, landing spacecraft. Each goal was measurable, specific, and time-bound. Those small wins stacked on each other, turning what seemed impossible into reality. Setting goals isn't just about writing down a list and hoping for the best. It's about accountability. It's about making a promise to yourself that you're going to measure your progress, face your failures, and adjust your course. Because if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. And if you don't manage it, you'll drift aimlessly, never arriving where you want to be. This idea applies to every part of your life: your career, your relationships, your health, your finances. You might say, I want to be healthier, but what does that mean? Does it mean losing 20 pounds? Running a 5K, eating vegetables 5 days a week? When you make it clear and measurable, it becomes real. It becomes achievable. Think about how many people have dreams but never take the time to write down specific goals. They get overwhelmed, distracted, and lose sight of their vision. They tell themselves, I'll get there someday. But someday never comes without a roadmap. Here's a truth I want you to hear loud and clear: clarity is power. When you have clarity about what you want and how you're going to get it, you ignite a fire inside that no obstacle can extinguish. You stop wandering in the dark and start marching with purpose. Now, I'm not saying this journey will be easy. Setting goals means facing your fears head on. It means admitting where you are now and what you need to do to get where you want to be. It means sometimes facing uncomfortable truths and making hard choices. But that's the price of greatness. When you set clear, measurable goals, you give yourself checkpoints, moments to pause and reflect. Did you hit the mark? What worked? What didn't? How can you improve? This process of constant evaluation keeps you sharp, focused, and hungry. I want you to imagine what your life could look like if every day you moved a little closer to your dreams. What if you set a goal to read one book a month that sharpens your mind? What if you set a goal to wake up 30 minutes earlier to work on your craft? What if you committed to saving a certain amount each month towards your future? These aren't small things. They're the building blocks of extraordinary lives. But here's where most people trip up. They set goals that aren't measurable or realistic. I want to be rich without defining what rich means. I want to be happy without defining what happiness looks like. If your goals are vague, your results will be too. So make your goals specific. Make them measurable. Make them challenging but achievable. Write them down. Tell someone you trust. Track your progress. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small. And when you stumble, get back up, adjust, and keep moving. Remember, every giant leap forward starts with a single step. But you've got to know which direction to step in. Otherwise, you'll just be moving, busy, but not productive. Goals give you direction. They give you focus. They give you a reason to keep going when the road gets tough. I want you to look inside yourself right now and ask, What are the clear goals I'm setting for my dream? Are they measurable? Can I track my progress? If you can't answer that, it's time to get serious. Your dream deserves it. Your future demands it. Because without clear, measurable goals, your dream is just a wish. And wishes don't build legacies. No matter the size of your dream, no matter the weight of your success, there's one thing that must never be lost: humility. You see, humility isn't weakness. It's the foundation of strength. It's the soil where growth takes root. It's the reminder that no matter how far you go, no matter how high you climb, there is always more to learn, more to improve, more to become. Even the greatest, the most accomplished, the most powerful, every one of them knows that the day they stop learning is the day they start to fall behind. Look at Warren Buffett, a man who's built one of the most successful investment empires in history. He doesn't spend his days basking in glory or resting on his laurels. No, he spends 80% of his waking hours reading, studying, soaking up knowledge like a sponge. That's humility. That's hunger. Think about what that means. In a world where distractions scream louder than wisdom, where quick fame and shortcuts seduce us at every turn, here is a man who understands that wisdom comes from relentless curiosity and constant growth. He's not above the grind. He's not too proud to listen, to read, to learn from others, no matter how old or young, famous or obscure they are. Humility is what keeps you grounded when the world tries to lift you up with false praise. It's what stops your head from swelling when people tell you you've made it. It's the quiet voice inside that reminds you, there's more work to do. There's more to understand. There's a bigger version of you waiting on the other side of comfort. I want you to imagine a river that flows strong, deep, and steady. Now imagine if that river stopped flowing. If it stagnated, the water would turn murky and lifeless. That's what happens when we stop learning. Our minds become stagnant, our dreams get dusty, and our hearts lose their fire. Humility is the flow that keeps your river moving. It's the force that drives you to seek out new ideas, to admit when you don't know something, to ask questions instead of pretending to have all the answers. It's what allows you to take feedback, to grow from criticism, and to get better every single day. Look at the legends who have shaped our world. They all share this trait. They never stop seeking knowledge. They never act like they've arrived. They're students of life, always ready to learn, ready to adapt, ready to evolve. And this doesn't just apply to your career or your craft. It applies to your character, your relationships, your spirit. Staying humble means valuing others, respecting their journeys, and understanding that every person you meet knows something you don't. It means opening your mind and heart to lessons from the most unlikely places. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the illusion of knowing it all. But the truth is, the day you think you've got it all figured out is the day you close the door on your potential. Humility opens that door wide. It invites growth in. It says, I'm not perfect. I have room to grow. I'm ready to learn. And that hunger for learning, it's a fire that keeps your dream alive. It fuels resilience when things get tough. It sharpens your mind when the path gets blurry. It builds confidence because you know that every day you're getting better, stronger, wiser. So ask yourself, what are you doing today to keep that fire burning? Are you reading? Are you listening? Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge your thinking and expand your horizons? Are you willing to admit what you don't know and seek out the answers? Because humility isn't about putting yourself down. It's about lifting yourself up by acknowledging that the journey of growth is never ending. It's about embracing the idea that learning isn't a phase, it's a lifestyle. Remember, your dream is big, but the world is bigger. And the more you learn, the more you realize just how much there is to discover. Let that be your motivation. Not fear, not pride, but humble curiosity. Keep learning, keep growing, stay humble, and watch how that mindset transforms not just your dream, but the man or woman you become on the way there. The most powerful dreams, the ones that echo through time, aren't about just us. They're about something bigger than ourselves. When you look beyond your own ambitions and start thinking about how your dream can serve others, that's when real magic happens. That's when your work transcends success and becomes a legacy. See, the most fulfilling dreams aren't selfish. They aren't just about getting to the top. or stacking up achievements. They're about lifting up the people around you, your community, your family, your team. When you dedicate yourself not just to your own growth, but to the growth of those around you, the impact multiplies in ways you never imagined. Take Malala Yousafzai, for example, a young girl in Pakistan with a dream for education, not just for herself, but for every girl who was told she couldn't learn, who was told she wasn't worthy. She faced danger, opposition, and violence, but her dream was bigger than fear, bigger than the threats that tried to silence her. She wasn't dreaming for herself alone, she was dreaming for her community, for the world. And because her dream served others, it grew. It became a movement. It became a symbol of courage, resilience, and hope. She turned her vision into a force that inspired millions across the globe. That's the power of serving others through your dream. It creates ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. When you wake up every day thinking not just about what you want, but about how your success can help someone else, you tap into a deeper purpose. And purpose, that's what keeps you going when the road is long and hard. It's what fuels your determination when the obstacles pile up. It's what fills your heart with strength when your body wants to quit. Think about the communities that thrive, not because one person worked alone, but because a group of people worked together, each person lifting the other. When you work harder to uplift your family, your friends, your team, you build a foundation that can weather any storm. Your dream becomes a shared dream, a collective hope. And this isn't just about big gestures or grand plans. Sometimes it's the small things, the daily acts of kindness, the support you offer to those struggling, the encouragement you give when someone doubts themselves. These are the bricks that build the house of a dream that serves others. Look at businesses that change lives, not just balance sheets. Look at leaders who inspire by putting their people first. Look at athletes who use their platform to bring attention to social causes. These aren't people chasing fame or fortune alone. They're driven by a vision to make the world better. When you serve others through your dream, you create meaning that outlasts trophies or titles. Your success becomes a beacon for others to follow. You become a living example of what's possible when you dream beyond yourself. So I want you to ask yourself, how can your dream serve? Who can you lift up along the way? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Because the truth is, the greatest fulfillment doesn't come from what you achieve alone. It comes from what you build together. Remember, your dream is a gift, and the most powerful gifts are those that give back. Serve your community, serve your family, serve your team. Dream bigger than yourself, and watch how that dream transforms not just your life, but the lives of countless others. When you look at the stories of those who've reached greatness, one thing stands clear: they never gave up. It doesn't matter how many times they were knocked down, how many doors slammed in their face, or how long the journey took. They kept moving forward. Because the truth is, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often not talent, not luck, but the refusal to quit. Life will test you. It will push you to your limits and then push some more. The road will get rough, the nights will get long, and the weight of your dreams might feel unbearable at times. But that's when you have to dig deep, deeper than you ever thought possible, and find that fire inside. That fire that says, I am not done yet. Think about some of the greatest breakthroughs in history. Thomas Edison tried thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television, but she kept going until her voice was heard by millions. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection before the world fell in love with Harry Potter. Each of these stories teaches us one thing: persistence beats resistance. You might be facing setbacks right now. Maybe your career feels stuck, your goals feel far away, or the world seems stacked against you. I want you to know this: your breakthrough might be just one more step away. Just one more phone call, one more pitch, one more practice, one more act of faith. Giving up is easy. It's the path of least resistance. But nothing worth having comes from taking the easy road. Greatness demands sacrifice, resilience, and relentless determination. It demands that you keep showing up even when no one is watching. It demands that you believe in yourself when others doubt you. You see, giving up isn't just about stopping. It's about surrendering your dreams, giving in to fear, and letting your potential go to waste. But refusing to quit means holding on to hope, even in the darkest moments. It means telling yourself, I will make it through this. I will rise. Remember, every champion was once a contender who refused to quit. Every success story is written by someone who chose to stand back up one more time than they fell. Your journey is no different. You have within you the strength to keep pushing forward. The strength to face failure and turn it into fuel. The strength to break through barriers that seem impossible. The strength to say, this is not the end. It's just the beginning. So, when the doubts creep in, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, when the world tells you it's time to stop, remember this moment. Remember that the difference between victory and defeat is often just a matter of perseverance. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't is the refusal to quit. Hold fast to your vision. Work harder than ever before. Keep your eyes on the prize, because your breakthrough is waiting for you. It's waiting on the other side of your struggle, your sweat, your tears. And when you finally get there, when you stand at the summit of your dreams, you'll look back and realize it was the refusal to give up that carried you through. It was the heart to keep going that made all the difference. So, keep moving, keep fighting, keep dreaming, never give up. So dream big, but then work harder than you ever thought possible. Let your dreams be the fire that ignites your soul, and your work be the hammer that shapes your destiny. You owe it to yourself, your family, and the world to give it everything you've got. Because in the end, it's not just about dreaming, it's about doing. And when you do that, there's nothing you can't achieve.